As I mentioned, Kaia was arrested. Who called you with this information?
Well, actually, one of the school representatives called me, and they turned the phone over to Officer Turner. He was the one who told me that I needed to go down to the juvenile center because Kai had been arrested.
She was at the juvenile center, not a phone call for you to come to the school to maybe take her home. She had already been transported from school to a detention center.
Yes.
When you walked into that detention center and saw her, what did you think? What was your reaction to all of it?
When I first walked into the center, I was still, I don't know, in a state of shock. However, when I told them I wanted my granddaughter and I asked them to bring her to me, they told me that she was still in the process of being fingerprinted, so I would have to wait. And when they told me she was in the process of being fingerprinted, is when everything hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like I could not wrap my head around it.
When they told you that she was there because she kicked somebody, kicked someone in school, which obviously we don't want anyone hit or bullied in school, did you ask them, why not call me? Why not let me come up there to bring her home and to perhaps deal with this?
One officer Turner had called me and he told me, and he said that she was charged with battery. I asked him, I said, didn't the school tell you that she has a medical condition and that she throws these tantrums when she is, sleep deprived? And he said to me, well, he also has the same medical condition and he does not behave the way she does. So it wasn't even really a discussion at that point as to whether or not I could deal with it or get her. It was simply that she's arrested and she's being processed.
When she saw you, because let me tell you, whenever I've been in trouble or seen my mom when I'm afraid, I burst into tears. It's like safety. When she saw you,
When I got there and they said that she was being fingerprinted, I burst into tears. And at that point, several of the employees at the center began crying. When they brought Kaia to me, she was shaking like a leaf. Her eyes were red, and all she kept telling me is, Grandma, I was so afraid. I told them to call you. I asked them to call you to come for me. And she just kept repeating it over and over. And she was really shaking like a leaf.
oh my goodness, the officer involved in this, as I understand, has been taken off the job. It was like a school resource officer. Is that correct?
Yes.
But what about the school? Have they apologized to you? What have they said about this?
Well, the school hasn't reached out to me with any apology. I haven't even gotten an explanation from the school.
Is she ill in
As a
that
matter
school
of fact,
still? Are you removing her from that school?
we will be. She is not. She's been home with me because she's been having nightmares. She's even, started wetting the bed, which is something she's not been doing, prior to this. But the real reason I really want to remove her from that school, Kaia, and Ted told me, when the officer told her to turn around and he handcuffed her and told her that he was taking her away, she turned around and asked the school staff, she begged them, can somebody come go with me, please? I'm afraid to go. And nobody from the school went with her. And I thought that was really, really terrible.
I know you are speaking out because you don't want this to happen to any other child. By the numbers here, 2014, when Arnie Duncan was education secretary, he revealed that black students make up 18% of preschoolers, but nearly half of the suspensions. And we're talking about preschoolers. Let that soak in. 18% of preschoolers are black kids, but nearly half of those suspensions of preschoolers are children of color. Do you think she would have been treated differently if she were not a brown child?
I do think so. I don't think If she was not a brown child, she would have been arrested. But with brown children, children of color, children, white children, I just would not want to see this happen again to another child. And I think something children throwing tantrums is almost like a rite of passage in childhood. And I cannot conceive of another parent out there fearing that if their child throws a tantrum in public, is that child going to be arrested? And then for children of color, we parents and guardians don't have the resources. Most of us don't cry out. I had to cry out because it hurt me to my core
Yeah.
to see my 6-year-old granddaughter telling me she had to lay on her stomach forward in a police car to stop the handcuffs from hurting her because she'd strapped into the police car with her hands cupped behind her back and they're hurting her. I would not want to hear another parent or guardian have to go through what my grandchild and I went through.
Meralyn, I want to thank you for coming on to talk with us. We have your information, and not that trinkets and things in life can erase pain, but I have something that I'm sending over to Kaia because I want her to know she can be the next Tamron Hall. Don't let this stop you. Don't let this stop you.
Thank you.
And you give her a hug from me.